Thousands of riders from dozens of states and countries, hundreds of volunteers, bottomless pasta, tons of ice, a really loud cannon, and 100 miles. All those things can only mean one thing in Texoma. It is time for the Hotter Than Hell 100. We want to thank you for joining us for our special live coverage. Quick reminder, CBS this morning, if you want to continue watching that, it's on the CW right now. We've got every angle of the 38th annual ride covered for you. Look at everybody. Ashley Fitzwater, Brian Schroll, there at the start line. Jake Garcia, Sarah Hines talking to the 100-mile riders early this morning. Camille Connor is in the back of the pack, but not because we put her there. She's just there. And Brenda Robledo and Tila Grant are at Rest Stop 1 in Iowa Park. Now, we're going to check in with all of them very shortly, but here's a look at the route that the 100-milers are going to go. This is in the red. They'll start on Scott Avenue, where Ashley and Brian are. They're going to travel all the way down Old Iowa Park Road to Iowa Park. They're going to drop down to 367 and head further west. Then they'll take a turn and head back towards Electra. In Haynesville, they'll jump onto 240 and go east and north to Burke Burnett, where they visit Hell's Gate. Now, it closes at 12:30, and if you're not there by 12:30 and they close it, you're forced to take the 100K route, which the bonus there is you get to go through Shepherd. The last 40 miles of the ride, if you stay on the 100 miles, will take you through the Cashin community, Thornberry, Charlie, and Dean before you get back on Scott as riders approach the finish line. We're going to head down to Scott Avenue, where thousands of riders are lining up for the ride right now. The mass of cyclists is a sight to see as they line up curb to curb for 9 city blocks. We start our tour of the starting line with Ashley Fitzwater and Brian Schroll. They're at the head of the pack, and good morning, you guys.
Good morning, Chris. You're right. We are so excited to be here. Of course, it is such a big day, a big event, the 38th annual Hotter Than Hell 100 2019 in Wichita Falls. And Brian, if you take a look back, it's just a sea of people.
Oh yeah, we're with the incumbents and recumbents, tandems, all of those guys. They'll go a little early, but if you look back, there's so many people already packed in, all ready to just take off for this ride of a great day. But it didn't start as a bike race.
No, in fact, we could be sitting in rocking chairs right now, which is a little funny.
I'm okay with that.
Maybe not the bad thing, but you know what? This is a lot more fun. This all started, of course, to celebrate 100 years of Wichita Falls. They had to come up with an idea what to do, and this was born, and of course it's continued every single year. What's really neat is it was 100 miles to celebrate 100 years, of course, in 100-degree heat.
Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be 100 degrees today, which is great. I think everyone's happy about that. But it'll be a great ride, 100 miles. Other people are doing 100K, 50 miles, yes, and down. But it's just a great day to celebrate Wichita Falls and the community and just have fun out here.
And we've already made friends. I want to introduce you to one of our friends. This is Amy Davis. She's from Burke Burnett, and she is an inmate.
I'm an inmate. Yes.
An escaped inmate to come ride in the Hotter Than Hell 100.
Oh, yes. Yes. And my fellow inmates are back at the 25, my husband and my son. We dress up every year. Just because it's fun.
Now, you're actually, of course, in the tandem recumbent section, so you're going to be going a little bit early.
Yes.
But you're going to be meeting up with them, correct?
Yes, we'll meet up at the base.
And what does this mean to you? What does this race mean to you, this ride?
It's just a lot of fun. The people are amazing. The organizers do an absolute excellent job. And it's just a lot of fun. And those that dress up and be kind of quirky, are very just nice to watch, and the entertainment value is just superb.
Do you have a favorite part of the race?
The rest stops. Of course, at the 25, we only have 2. We'll have Pleasant Valley Airport, and then we'll have the base. But even with just 2, it's awesome. So.
And this is a tradition for your family.
Oh, yeah.
You do this every year.
Every year. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How neat is it to have this in your own hometown, your own backyard?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, because we just hop up at 4 o'clock in the morning and get dressed and come on over, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on the road and still rubbing sleep out of our eyes, but we spend enough time at the start line to wake up and enjoy the energy.
Well, good luck today. We're not alone out here. Jake Garcia, Sarah Hines, just a little bit back, kind of among the pack of the rest of the 100-mile riders. We'll send it to them right now.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. We are here at the 100 Mile. Jake, this is actually my first Hotter in Hell to be out in the field, so this is so exciting for me. You've done this a little bit.
Yeah, I've done this for about 3 years, and it's just an electric environment. I mean, the atmosphere here is just contagious, if you would. I mean, there's a lot of people out here who are excited, they're nervous, and it's just a good day, and we're thankful that it's not going to be 100 degrees out here
thank
as
goodness.
well.
That's what we're really happy for. You know, it's not going to be 106.
Yeah, it's great, and it's great weather out here. And today we have Camille with us, and Camille, you're from Wichita Falls, and you're riding with KMOC, and you've been doing this for a while.
About 8 years, yeah.
Okay, so tell me about what got you involved in cycling in the first place.
I used to be jealous of people who would ride on Sundays, and I said, okay, then get a bike. So I got a bike and then started just riding.
Right, and you've done this, you said for 8 years, and then that you've, the past couple of years, you've tried to amp yourself up a little bit.
Yes, yeah. Going from 25 to 50, and now this time I'm going to do the 100K.
All right, awesome, and we're excited for you, and definitely, yeah, it's going to be a great day. It's so nice. I love your bike. Tell me a little bit about your bike.
It's just, I've had this forever, and it's ever since I started, because you have to have a good bike. If
Yes.
you don't have a good bike, you cannot ride this thing.
It's Old
You really
Faithful.
can't. It is. It is Old Faithful. Yep. I've
All
had
right,
it.
Kendall, thank you so much. We're going to let you get us lined up here, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, awesome. And it's just it's a great atmosphere out here, you guys. And, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and each year it just seems to get bigger and bigger every single year.
I mean, thousands of people. They're talking, tens of thousands of people coming out here. This is the place to be. People are coming from all over. In fact, Camille Connor, she's a little bit down the road. We're going to go ahead and pitch it over to her. Camille?
Well, Jake and Sarah, the sun is coming up. There's cyclists out here already warming up, and there's already volunteers out here. As a matter of fact, I'm with Mike Hopper, and you're in charge of the security. You've been working with Hotter in Hell for decades, and can you tell me about what you and your crew do?
Yes, we've got people from TDCJ, correctional officers. We've got Marines, units. They all volunteer at different intersections, so we can get the bike to where they need to go. So they don't all start at once. We have to break them up in groups. So we try to get everybody through here safely, make sure if a car gets in here, we get them out, and just make sure everybody has a fun time.
And we're at 7th Street right now. Which of the races is going to start here?
We're going to have some of the 50 and 100 miles start right the next block up, and then the farther you go, the more the 100-mile keepers, then the scorchers, then the 100-mile who think they can do it all quick. And then we have the recumbent bikes up front, tandem bikes up front, and they get to start a little bit before everybody else.
And I know it's a serious job, but what is something you enjoy about doing this every year?
Always fun coming out, seeing the people. They're appreciative of us out here helping them. They all ride by and say, hi, thank you for being there, and it just makes you feel good.
It makes you feel good. That's right, and we're excited to start feeling good in less than an hour, and I'm going to toss it back to you, Chris.
Camille, thank you. Looks great. Everybody's excited. I love it. The atmosphere is growing. The sun's coming up. It's Hotter in Hell Day. Well, more members of our News Channel 6 Hotter in Hell team are 10 miles down the road from there, close to Iowa Park, actually kind of in Iowa Park, at rest stop number 1. We joined Brenda Robledo and Tila Grant, and preparations are well underway for the riders to come there.
That's right. Good morning, Chris. We are right here in Iowa Park, just beside the police and the fire department. And the party here is just starting. Me and Tila are so happy to be here.
Yeah, we are so excited. This is actually my first Hotter in Hell, so I can't wait to get the day started. We've already seen some riders going by, and they're continuing to set up out here. The group that's hosting this station is Encompass Health, and they are doing everything to get ready. The Gatorade's flowing, the medical tent set up. It looks good out here.
Yes, and what makes me so happy is to see all the kids that are out here. You guys should check it out. There's so many kids out here, and it makes me so happy that they're out here, supporting the community and helping those riders.
That's right. And if you're not able to watch us on TV, you can also watch us on social media. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can catch all of our stuff
on Facebook. That's right. We are streaming live, and we're actually going to toss things back to you guys. We're going to go find some people. We found some interesting people already. We're going to get him over here. That way they can talk to us on camera. Back to you guys.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. Always interesting folks at the rest stops, especially early on in the morning. Well, speaking of early on in the morning, I got up pretty early this morning, checked the radar. First thing I did when I got up this morning, there was rain out to the west toward the Panhandle. Looked like it was coming right toward Wichita Falls. Ken Johnson joins us now. KJ, this looked like it was really going to cause some impact, but it's all just gone away.
Yeah, it really went away. And if you watched this yesterday, Chris, we said that was what was going to happen, and indeed it did. Now, on the radar, it's been a close call. We had rain out west. It's gone now. But if we look to the east, it jumped over us and reformed to the east of us. Boy, somebody was watching out for the hotter than hell this morning. Big thunderstorms blowing up close to I-35. I suppose a couple of these could make it into parts of Stevens, Jefferson, or Monte County, but it looks like these storms will stay to the east of the hotter than hell 100, resuming in down close to the start line this morning. No rain out there. I still can't rule out a brief sprinkle or a brief shower along the track of the race or the route of the race later on this morning, or even early this afternoon, but I think for the most part, we're going to stay dry. And hey, this is a good part of the forecast. Low 70s outside this morning, looking fantastic. So this morning at 6 a.m., low 70s, as cyclists make their way to the west along the track. Winds will be out of the north. Very light. Winds are really not going to play a factor. Of course, with cyclists, winds, temperature, and humidity all play a big role in that. But it looks like as they make their way east towards Burt Burnett, temperatures rising into the 80s. Again, a brief shower cannot be ruled out along the route.
Wonderful news there, Ken. Well, as we head to break, you can see them really just starting to line up. This is our first look at the sea of riders that are getting ready to go. There's much more on the other side of the bridge. This is our Eagle Eye camera that's just past the start line. And in less than 30 minutes, the cannon's going to fire and we'll start the ride. We're going to bring it all to you live, so stay with us. Welcome back to our special Hotter Than Hell coverage. If you're looking for CBS this morning, it is on the CW right now. But we'd love it if you just stayed with us. Now, we are going to head back to the start line with, I believe we're going back to see Jake and Sarah Hines. I believe they are standing by as they are ready to talk to more riders. Hi, guys.
Hello, we're actually waiting John Cameron to show up. He is making his way over here. We started off at the 100-mile hopefuls, and we're moving our way forwards towards the starting line as the morning progresses because, you know, it's a big crowd, and so we're trying to find John Cameron.
Yeah, and, you know, that can be a little bit difficult because, like Jake said, there are hundreds or thousands, I should say, not even hundreds, thousands of people, you know, but what's interesting about John is, you know, he's TV morning meteorologist by day, and he is cyclist by night, so it's awesome. He is doing the 100 miles, so good luck to him. We're going to try to catch up with him a little bit later, but I mean, this is just a, you know, really great atmosphere. We're having to dodge a few bikes, but that's all right.
Yeah, safety first. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of look through the crowd and see where John Cameron might be because it's a lot of people out here. But we met a lot of people from all over the country, from Arkansas all the way from Oregon, and they're coming to Wichita Falls. And I mean, this is a huge event, not only for tourism, but also for our economy. So it's a very good thing.
And, you know, and the cool thing about it, too, is there's a lot of first-timers out here, too. You know, we met folks from Houston, that first-timers, the guys from Oregon, first-timers, they had some pretty neat uniforms on, too. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, it's just a great time out here.
It's a great time, and a great time if all of our friends watching on Facebook this morning, we want to say good morning to you. Chris, back to you.
Thank you, guys. Good morning to our Facebook friends as well. Yes, indeed. Hey, Camille Connor is a little further down the start line from them, and it looks like she's got someone with her that has a pretty colorful, cool Texas jersey. Tell me about it, Camille.
That's right. You know, riders are starting to find their places, and I'm actually here with Michael Brighton, and this is your 10th year in Hotter Than Hell. Can you tell me what keeps you coming back?
Well, we just enjoy the experience. Wichita Falls is very inviting for us down here. The whole ride, the whole setup is just done very professionally. Never had any issues down here. SAG teams are great, the volunteers are great, and just Wichita Falls as a whole.
And now we want to know about your uniform. Can you tell us about how you found this uniform?
Well, this was the jersey from last year. We've been doing this for about 10 years now, and I try to buy a jersey every year. They're a little pricey, but, you know, maybe we do every other year now. So I just chose this one to ride with this year.
That's awesome. How excited are you about this year?
I'm really excited. I'm always excited for the start. Start's always the best part for me, that long stretch on 287. You see all the riders in front of you. You're going back and forth, people passing, people falling back. It's just fun.
That's awesome. I hope you have a good time again.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I'm going to toss it back to you, Chris.
All right, Camille, thank you. We saw in that shot the video of the recumbents, I'm thinking politics, the recumbents and the tandem bikes are moving toward the front. They will start before everybody else. So when that cannon goes off, they're the first ones out as far as riders are concerned that will get going. All right, rest stop number 1 is where we find Brenda Robledo, and it looks like Brenda's got a whole bunch of people hanging out with her as they're close to Iowa Park.
Chris, I've already met some cool volunteers. Check them out, and they're pretty young and they're pretty awesome. Just because they're out here this morning, these people arrived like around 6 in the morning, and that's pretty early. So, I was out here talking to them. What's your job today? You guys got a pretty important job. How about you guys? What are you guys doing today?
We're watching the bike riders.
Okay, what's your job?
We're helping them get some drinks.
All right.
My job is to help with the medical and make sure that they have everything they need just in case they get hurt.
Yep, that's pretty important. Now, on my right side, you guys, how long have you guys been volunteering for such a big cycling event? Let's start with you.
3 years.
3 years. Okay, how about you?
8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
8 years too. That is awesome. And just very quickly, what is it that you guys look most forward to? You had a pretty interesting answer. What's your answer to that?
The train.
The train. He likes the train because we have a train right on the right side of me, so that's pretty cool. How about you guys? What do you look most forward to?
Seeing the different types of bikes.
Okay. How about you?
Just knowing different people that are riding, and just whenever they come in, they're all tired, and then they get refreshed and they're good after that.
That's right. So again, what they're doing is very important. We're going to toss things back to you guys in the studio.
Brenda, thank you. They are very, very important jobs that they're doing, and they're all volunteers, so just remember that. We are just minutes away from the start of the 38th annual Hotter Than Hell 100. There are a lot of excited riders ready to go, put some miles behind them while it's still bearable outside. More live coverage just ahead.
Welcome back to the Hotter Than Hell coverage. We're getting ready for the bike race. It's almost here. 7:05-ish is when the cannon and everything will go, the flyover national anthem. The tandems and recumbents are just ahead. They'll get the first off.
Yes.
And then right behind us, the 100 miles and everything. It's almost here.
The energy out here is amazing. It may be early, but you quickly forget that the second you hit the pavement out here, because everyone is so excited. They're ready to go. There's a lot of energy out here. Like you mentioned, the recumbents, the tandems, they are just lined up. They will go early before the national anthem, before all of that happens, just to kind of get ahead of the group. But of course, there's something pretty neat you have to share with us about this passport.
Yeah, so when the race first started, so all these racers get a little passport, right? When the race first started, every rest stop they went to, they had to get it stamped to prove that they had been there and kind of keep track of where they are, make sure everyone's getting through it all, doing it right.
Yes.
Now, because of technology and everything, there's a little tracker in the number that they wear, and then friends and family can keep track of them on an app. It's a great way of kind of incorporating a great bike race with technology and just how everything has progressed.
And they have had to use that before to kind of check on people, to track people down. So it's already proved beneficial, of course, to have that. It's a great safety tool, and of course to check your times because of those different checkpoints. And who wants to have to carry something around,
Exactly.
That way you can focus on everything going on. We are getting really excited. It won't be long until the 2019 Hotter Than Hell 100 bike ride officially kicks off. The racers, they're already going. They started a little bit early, of course, to beat the heat. So it won't be long, though.
We're almost there. We'll send it back to you, Chris, in the studio.
Well, the excitement is going, and yeah, I got my passport. I'm waiting to get it stamped right now. I do remember those days, the days when it started at the stadium. Someone who also might remember those days is John Cameron, because that is he is with now the morning crew. It's Jake, Sarah, and John all standing by, and John's going to ride 100 miles. He's been training, you guys.
And the thing is you may be watching right now and you're like, wait a minute, this is just the morning show all over again, but it's actually not. John is here for a reason. Like Chris said, he's doing the 100 miles, and John, the cool thing about this is 2 years ago, did you even imagine that you'd be on a bicycle today?
Yeah, I didn't even own a grown-up bicycle 2 years ago. You know, it really goes back to a doctor's visit early last year. He said, John, your health isn't great. He threatened to put me on medications I didn't want to be on, and, you know, my interest in exercise turned to cycling, and as you can see, I'm kind of taking it a little bit seriously.
And, you know, last year was your first year.
Yep.
How far did you go last year?
50 miles last year.
And so what made you say, I can do 100 this year?
Just, you know, seeing other people do it that have, you know, the equal physical abilities that I do, same age and so on and so forth. So I was like, why not? Why not? It's in my hometown. Why not?
And what y'all don't know is that he takes this so seriously. Every single Friday, we're like, John, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to go on a ride. And I mean, it will be December, January, when it's like so cold out. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go down to Waxahachie and do a ride, or I'm going to go to wherever, you know. So best of luck to you, John.
I know, and people have been all over. Where's John Cameron?
Yeah.
They're looking for you, John.
They know
a
you're
lot of
doing the
supporters
right
out
thing.
there.
That's good to know. I feel I'm among 10,000 of my closest cycling friends. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, in a little bit, John's actually going to be going past a rest stop where Tila Grant is right now. So we're actually going to pitch it to her out at a rest stop. Tila?
Yep, I'm out this rest stop right here, and I'm joined by Mike Mitchell. He's a volunteer, and he's helping out with the hand radio systems, right?
Absolutely, yeah, ham radio.
All right, and tell us what exactly you're doing with that.
So basically the whole route, supply, medical route, everything is all covered by a radio operator network. And we're just the fastest form of communication. If there's anything wrong, if anything needs to be taken to the rest stops, anything like that, we're just the quickest way to get that communicated and get it set out. It's basically our whole communications network for Hotter Than Hell.
Okay, about how many people is that?
Oh, gosh, I think it's 100 plus for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm not sure of the number, so quite a few.
Okay, and you've been helping out doing this for a long time here with Hotter Than Hell, right?
I have, yeah. This is my 14th year, I believe, doing this as a volunteer. I started out with Boy Scouts doing hauling water and everything else, and then got pulled off to come out here and be the rest stop operator.
All right, you said this is a family affair, right? You got your daughter over there helping out as well, right?
It is, yeah. So my daughter was able to join Boy Scouts this year. We got started with Troop 2, and she needed some service hours to get to her next rank, and so she's been coming out with me since kindergarten, but she said, oh my gosh, Dad, I can do service hours this year. So I'm like, absolutely, come on. So this year we put her to work instead of sitting in the truck reading a book.
Right, so that's a little bonus for her. She gets to come out here, get her hours, and help out. And then basically been doing this all her life then, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. Since she was little, she's been coming.
That is so cool. And so what's your favorite part of volunteering at these events? You've been coming back every year. So what do you love about it?
It's just fun. I mean, I know it's a great event for Wichita Falls, Wichita County, all the surrounding towns. You know, working for the Boy Scouts, being an Eagle Scout, I've always been very service-oriented, and I just love what it brings to our community, the number of people. Love to be able to tell everybody that's here what a great town Wichita Falls is, you know. And so we enjoy it. It's a big event. It's a lot of fun. Plus, Rest Stop 1, you get to see all, 8, 10, 12,000 bikers.
Yep, and we're excited to check out some more and talk to some more people at this rest stop. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Tila, thank you. We just saw the recumbents. We saw it on my feed. The recumbents and the tandems have just gotten underway. They were supposed to start at 6:55, so right on time for them. The cannon will go off at 7, but, dude, the weather's going to turn out to be perfect.
It's not so hot in hell this morning, Chris.
No, it's not.
It's
and
nice
that's okay.
out there. Yeah, it's nice out there. The rain has held off. We thought it would, and it's held off. The temperatures aren't too bad. A little humid, but not bad. The wind's not going to be a factor. This year's Hotter Than Hell is going to be really nice.
That's good, because when you got to turn south and come into the wind, your legs are already dying and they kill you.
That's exactly right.
It's awful.
Yeah, it is awful. So, all right.
Here we go. Let's take a look at the radar.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there it is. The radar showing thunderstorms missed us. They're off to the east. We said they would miss us. They did. They were to our west this morning. It looked like we were going to get wet, but we didn't. Now, hey, I cannot rule out a brief shower along the raceway this morning, but it looks like most of the activity, heaviest stuff, stays well off to our east. Looking down on the start line this morning, it's a dry start here in Wichita Falls. We're down to 71. We like that here in the Falls this morning. And the course, of course, we have a few little icons on here that show showers or a little thunder lightning. But that rain chance is extremely low, only about 10 to 20% at best. 71 to 72 degrees at 7 a.m. Humidity about 95%, pretty humid. 82 at 10 a.m. towards the end of the race, which is typically around 1 o'clock when some of the a lot of the first riders come across the finish line there. Temperature right about upper 80s to right around 90. Again, winds are not going to be a factor at all.
Well, one look here as all the riders have now moved up a little bit. These are the 100-mile riders that are starting to move up as the race is about to start. And up next, the moments we've been waiting for. We're going to hear the national anthem, catch the flyover, and try not to be startled by the cannon as the biggest event of the year gets underway in Texoma. We are going to get you right back out to the start line where things are making their way, and there is a lot going on as Ashley Fitzwater and Brian Stroll are both out there. Guys, what you seeing?
Of course, everyone is moving out there, getting ready. We're just a few minutes out, but really quickly, I have a mother here. Her son is, of course, in Hotter Than Hell 100. He is going to be riding today, and you just told me the neatest thing. Of course, you're out here cheering him on, but really, it's a story, you said, of tragedy to triumph. Tell us a little bit about your son.
Well, he was in an automobile accident 9 years ago. He spent 6 months in the hospital and 23 months in a nursing home. He was told he'd never be able to walk. It's a milestone in his recovery. I'm very proud of him.
So this means a lot, not only to him, but you as a mother, of course, all of his family. You know, this is really what Hotter Than Hell 100, it seems, is about for so many people. You know, maybe they're out there riding, like Josh. Is that his name? Josh's Journey, correct?
Josh's Journey.
Anything else? I know that you just must be so excited that he's out here today doing this.
Yes, I am. I'm very proud of him. You know, he set a goal, and he is going to make that goal. I know he will. I know his determination.
That's awesome. We appreciate you sharing. Yes, we appreciate you sharing that. Of course, we are cheering Josh on and all of the other people as well. And there are lots of other stories, of course, that are taking place out here. Every single person out here, Brian, has a story.
Oh, yeah, whether it's families, kids, just groups of people wanting to ride together. There's so many different people from different walks of life out here, different from this area, from other states, from other countries. It's just incredible to see all the different people that flood to Wichita Falls, flood to Texoma to take a part in this incredible event that it just brings people together.
It really does. And you know, a lot of the groups, they may be riding in memory of someone. They may be celebrating their own journey. I know last year we met a group of women and they had survived breast cancer, brought them together. And this is something they now do to not only celebrate that triumph, of course, but now they're friendships, it's exercise, it's fun. It's just a great way to celebrate this day, and it's really neat to have this in our community.
It really is. We saw a kid just 5 minutes ago that was riding in the tandem and recumbent groups. He's 8 years old, and he's riding the 100-mile race today.
Brian, that's impressive, isn't it?
I can't do it. It really is.
He was ready to go.
He was. He was ready to go. It is great. Father, daughter,
Yes.
mother, sons. Last year, it was a family affair of generations of people coming together to ride this race, to train together for this event. It's incredible to see.
And what's really neat is none of this could happen without the volunteers. There are anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 volunteers at these rest stops that we've been showing off, just out here working, setting things up, signing people in, getting them all these numbers, their place in line. Those are the people who are behind the scenes, but really the ones who make this so smooth, who make this happen year after year.
And Camille was talking to the head of safety earlier in the show, and the law enforcement, the firefighters, the police that go into this is Scott Street. This is all of Scott Street that they have to have barricaded, blocked off so that the riders can have a safe trip. So much goes into it, and it's just great to see so many people coming together, part of Wichita Falls, all to come together to put on the great event that is the Hotter Than Hell 100.
And you know, there's a lot of fun facts that really came out of this. That little boy we were telling you about, he had a Camelback on, and you know, where you put it on and you can drink, and that is something that came out of Hotter Than Hell. So what a neat thing that so much has come out, again, of this event. We're celebrating, it started celebrating 100 years in Wichita Falls, and now it has grown to something that just brings thousands and thousands of people together. This is really good for our community. It's a big boost. And of course, it all begins with the national anthem as well, which will be starting in just a moment. Okay, that's just the crowd cheering. Here we go.
And it's begun. The flyover, the cannon, all starts. The Hotter Than Hell 100, and the races are off. It'll take a while for everyone to get going. All starts with the 100 miles, and there's several groups of the 100 miles to go. And then you get to the 100K and everywhere else. It'll take a while for everyone to get through, but we are off and running.
How about that flyover, too? Shepherd Air Force Base does a wonderful job. Just beautiful. Of course, and then the cannon. It always gives you a little jolt.
Beautiful.
38 years, Hotter Than Hell 100.
Exactly, Ashley. Beautiful, beautiful views right there as we look above the start line from our Eagle Eye camera and our camera on the ground that's with Ashley and Brian right now. You know, that is such an iconic moment that we just saw with the flyover and this community being a big part of Shepherd Air Force Base being a big part of this community. And then as well, that cannon has some serious historical value as well. So they are underway. More than 10,000 or around 10,000 riders are on the streets in downtown Wichita Falls right now, making their way out into the countryside as we continue our live coverage here. It is always a breathtaking sight, and if you've ever ridden in it, this is one of the most exciting moments, other than finishing, that you can have. We'll be back with more coverage right after this. Welcome back to the News Channel 6 Hotter Than Hell coverage for 2019. We just saw the riders get underway. Awesome sight with the flyover and then the cannon. But believe it or not, Brian Schroll was exactly, well, no, I'm not saying believe it or not, Brian Schroll was right, but Brian Schroll, right before we went to break, said it'll take a while for everybody to start because they're lined up for 9 city blocks. It is a long stretch on the map, an even longer stretch if you have to walk it or, well, ride it. Camille Connor is down the line a little bit where people are still waiting to go. And Camille, they've heard the national anthem, they saw the flyover, they heard the cannon, and now they just sit and wait until it's their turn.
They just sit and wait, but they are ready to ride. And I'm actually here with Lynn. This is your 6th year riding in Hotter Than Hell. You're from the Dallas area. Can you tell me what keeps you coming back?
Just the challenge, really. We train all year to come and do this, so it's the challenge of being able to do it in the heat and the distance and the wind.
The wind, that's right. And it's still pretty cool right now, but what are some essentials you bring with you to, try to stay a little cool during the ride?
We have the water bottles, the energy drinks, the shot to take it beforehand, the gels in the back. We have peanut butter pretzels and just things that we get on the way. So.
And you don't come by yourself, you come with a friend too, so it's a really good time to spend time with friends as well, right?
Absolutely.
And you're riding the 100K, you know what? Good luck to you. You're an expert, you got this.
All right,
all right, guys, I'm going to toss it back to you, Chris.
Thank you so much, Camille. Riders are still streaming through the starting gate as they get their own Hotter Than Hell journey started. Ashley and Brian on Scott Street at the start line, and this has just been an incredible view for you guys, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we can't complain with this view. I mean, it's probably one of the best you could get for Hotter Than Hell. So many riders, so many people out here to enjoy this event and just watch everyone going through and just getting this race started.
You know, we mentioned a lot of volunteers earlier, and I want to introduce you to one of those volunteers right now. Chaplain Doug is joining me. And tell me why it's important, of course, for you to come out here. You said this is your 10th year to be involved.
It's important to me just to have a spiritual presence out here at the beginning of the starting line. I originally came with the shower unit that's at the finish line through Texas Baptist Men, and it's just wonderful to see people's appreciation for the spiritual presence. I was asked at 4:45 this morning to pray with somebody, and it's just awesome to be out here to help people and just guide them. I look for single riders, because I want them to know that I'm praying for them and knowing that they need to take care of themselves. So looking for the oddities and just making sure people know they're not alone.
That's really awesome. Well, we're glad that you're here, of course, and thank you for taking a moment to talk with us. Again, he said that he'll also go out to the medical tent That's where a lot of people are taken when, you know, of course, they're injured, and all of that is offered. Those services volunteered as well, offered to all of these riders at no charge. Lots of volunteers, again, making this happen. We're going to continue our Hotter Than Hell 100 coverage coming up, so don't go anywhere. Texoma, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to our News Channel 6 special coverage of the Hotter Than Hell 100. We are going to go straight back out to the start line where Ashley Fitzwater and Brian Schroll are live, and a lot of bikes are going past you guys.
And you know, one of those bikes was John Cameron. We just saw him go by. Just missed him. So he's just now coming through the start line. And that's something that we want to point out. This is like a well-oiled machine. I mean, through that little inflatable that we saw, everybody is coming through. And Brian, if you think about being downtown, all those people packed down there, you know, they let them go, of course, in groups. And speaking of all these people, Brian, there's a little fun fact about how they keep them all cool. After all, it's the Hotter Than Hell 100.
Yeah, so if anyone gets injured, you know, you need ice to cause slow down swelling or whatnot, and you want cold beverages, you want cold Powerade, cold water, all of that. So you need ice. They provide 125,000 pounds of ice for this race. 62 tons. That's a lot of ice.
That's a lot of ice. Ice, ice, baby, right? That song, Bring Back Any Memories for anyone? This, of course, is just a fun event to be at. It's impressive to see all of these people coming through. They're going to be coming through at least for a
little
good
while,
while now, too.
Oh, yeah.
And we're cheering them on as they come by, because this is really where they're going to get that oomph, you know, to keep going throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, they're ready to go. They hit this flag and they're off. They'll go up the hill and then they're off for the 100 miles or 100K or whatever they're riding.
That's right.
It's a lot of fun. So we'll send it back to you, Chris, in the studio.
Thank you all. It is a lot of fun. Rode it about 4 years ago and just loved all the people that were sitting on the sidewalk down Old Iowa Park Road, cheering everybody on in their lawn chairs with their umbrellas, just having a good time. Ken Johnson joins us now. Ken, this is it's a day that has turned out to be a pretty nice one, or at least the forecast says it's going to be a nice one. And the best part is not a lot of wind.
You know, Chris, we're calling it a not so hotter than hell. It really isn't going to be bad out there today. The temperatures are not bad this morning. Humidity a little on the high side, but overall great conditions. You can see the rain has held off. No rain here. We had some storms late last night and really up until about 2 hours ago. A lot of rain off to the west, but it fell apart that quick. Now, there are some pretty big storms well east of us. This is where they're going to stay. We look closer to where everything is going on here in the falls, close to the start line. No rain. That is certainly some good news. Outside now in the city, temperature sits at 71 degrees, light breeze out of the east-northeast. Again, wind not a problem, but the humidity is high. And as you saw a moment ago, low 70s this morning. I like to take the thunderstorm icon out there. It's not going to happen. A very small, I'm talking about a 10% chance for a shower throughout the race. By the end of the race, we'll be close to 90, Chris. Winds will be becoming south a little bit later on, but again, they'll be basically less than 10 miles per hour. And if you're a cyclist, which I'm not, but if you're a cyclist, the wind plays a huge factor, especially when they start headed south out of Burt Burnett.
That's exactly right, Ken. All right, now, something that helps the riders all the way through, and there are 16 of them, 17, I believe. Rest stops, they are a big deal. Brenda Robledo is live right now at rest stop number 1. And Brenda, you guys had Powerade a moment ago. What else is out there?
Well, Chris, you know, another important thing about these rest stops is the medical tents, and I'm right here with 2 registered nurses who are going to tell us a little bit more about what we got here. Well, right here we have whole pickles and pickle juice. What else do we have here?
We have BioFreeze, which is a muscle cream, like icy hot. We have Stop Pain, which is the same thing, and then we have Tylenol.
Okay. Now, she did mention pickle juice. Tell me what's that for?
Yeah, so riders really enjoy the pickle juice. It helps with preventing their cramps. It's a high sodium product, so it really makes them happy.
Okay, perfect. We do appreciate you guys are out here. You know, you guys are very important to all the riders, you know. Well, thank you so much. We're going to toss things to break, and then we'll be right back.
Welcome back. We're about 25 minutes into the 38th annual Hotter Than Hell 100, and we want to show you the map again because this is really kind of cool. All the riders are probably about 5 to maybe getting closer to the 10-mile mark, which would be around Iowa Park. This cruises all through Wichita County, up into the Electra area. Then it goes north through Pumpkin Center. It goes down Highway 240, which takes you all the way to Burke. Hell's Gate is what's in Burke. It's a great big devil-looking big inflatable that's there, and it closes at 12:30. If it was really hot today, it might close earlier. But the cool part about that is if you don't continue onto the 100-mile route, you get turned to the 100K route, and the bonus part is you get to go through the Shepherd Air Force Base rest stop, which is always the coolest thing ever in the entire world. I'm telling you, it is the best rest stop there is, and I don't want other people mad at me. We're going to check in with all of our coverage teams one last time. We'll start with Ashley and Brian at the start line. It's been a great morning.
You know, we got to welcome the sun up here at the start line, and it's just really been exciting from the very beginning. We're seeing more and more people come through, Brian.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 20, 25 minutes since the race started, and there's still people flowing in. I mean, you got 100K, 50K, everything. So many people still left to come through, and it's just a great sight up here at the starting line. So many people out here just to enjoy this event.
Cheering them on, too.
But we're going to go back a little bit, back to the 100-mile, where the 100-mile started, to Jake and Sarah now.
Well, we are here at Finish Line Village, and it's a little bit quiet right now, but it's going to be really exciting here probably within the next hour, Jake.
Yeah, even before then, because some of the shorter races are going to be coming through here, so it's not busy now, but it will be here shortly. So we're going to explore Finish Line Village a little bit.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of vendors out here. We're going to go have a little party, but until then, we are going to toss it out to Camille. Camille?
So it's just a beautiful day right now. The riders for the 100K just took off from the back lines. They were actually sitting here for a while. The riders were here for a while, and now they're headed down Scott Street, and soon the shorter races are going to be coming through too, the 50K and the 10K. They're really pumped to go. They've been waiting for quite some time. You know, the race actually kicked off at 7:05, but they are ready and they're excited. You can actually hear them down the street. They're actually screaming, so it's going to be a great time. Now to you, Brenda.
Well, Brenda, we talked to a ton of volunteers out here today, and now I'm getting even more excited because now the cyclists are starting to come in, and they're coming in on some cool bikes, so I can't wait to talk to them about them.
Yeah, and Chris did say it's going to start getting busy around this time, and it sure is. That's what people have been telling us. So be sure to stay with News Channel 6 because we're still going to be talking to people, and we'll have all that information for you guys later on today. And again, don't forget about our Facebook Live. We will be there live. Back to you guys.
Well, what a great morning it has been. We've taken you all up and down the start line. We are going to come back with you at 8 o'clock and take you to the finish line and back to that rest stop to get the latest. Stay with News Channel 6. Best live coverage around. We'll see you at 8.